Sup guys, this is Phoenix. Today with Dornier Do-17 E-1, which is the first bomber in the German tech tree. So the theme of today's episode is Dornier Do-17. Play or skip it? You will soon learn the answer. Oh boy, does it take long to hide this gear. Alright, so as usual, I'll start discussing weaponry first. So, good news is you have one machine gun which you can fire, so you have some weapon for self-defense other than the turrets. But this is just a single garbage MG. I think it's the same MG as the ones on... Yeah, I would have to check it, but what I'm sure of is this is a low caliber MG with garbage ammo, so don't really count on it. The best you can do with it is scare enemies off, to be frank. So for example, when you... those attackers and single engine bombers that spawn at bomber altitude, yeah, you can use it against them, but don't even dream of using this to fight against enemy fighters. However, at least it's placed centrally. Yeah, as you can see, so... Who's pulling the trigger, lol? So at least the accuracy can be guaranteed, somewhat. And you don't have to worry about convergence, well, there's only one gun anyway. So this is a shitty machine gun, but always better than nothing. As for ammo, frankly speaking, we have to check it in the hangar later, because I forgot. Actually, I have skipped this vehicle. And mine is stuck, but in test flight it's spaded. You can test flight or test drive a spaded vehicle, so there's no real problem for now. So there's no real point in spading it, if you ask me, because you don't only need several modifications on it. Yeah, so as you can see, there aren't a lot of rounds. Only I think there was like 350 or 400 initially. Probably 350, judging by the rate of fire. Yeah, so muzzle velocity is relatively high on this, but as you can see, the rate of fire seems to be slower than the machine guns that I have covered earlier. It's not bad, but not good either. Also, this machine gun... Alright, there doesn't seem to be much of an issue with jamming, albeit it still will jam, eventually. Overall, this machine gun is, again, it's just useful for scaring enemies off, otherwise it's garbage. However, we have some turrets here. As you can see, we have one turret here behind the cockpit above, and we also have one turret there below. Yeah, see, there's that machine gun sticking there, and this is the first turret I mentioned. So we have two turrets. However, both of them are pretty weak. I'm pretty sure they have the same MG that we have in the front. So again, you can only scare enemies off. Well, if you are lucky and the enemy is slow, then you can shoot them down, but it will be quite difficult. Well, if it's a biplane, then you are likely to actually shoot them down, but you may not be able to do it with time. Sorry, I mean in time. As for payload, we have not that much. Currently, as you can see, I have a stock payload of 10 50 kilo bombs. I can also take, once I unlock them, 2 250 kilogram bombs or 2 napalm bombs. Well, actually, those are not technically napalm. I think napalm was exclusively American, developed in Vietnam, but yeah, incendiary bombs, let's call them this. Of which we can only get 2 as well. Honestly, incendiary bombs are pretty useless. You can use them against open top vehicles, and you can use them against tracks. Otherwise, you can only use them against bombing target bases in RRB. That's pretty much it. Yeah, however, the problem is that the accuracy of this thing is not that great. As you can see, fortunately, we have bomber sight, so there's that. Also, do you see this little thing here? This is where your bomb will fall. See how it's moving around? The more you maneuver, the more your target will be, or rather your aim will be off. So for example, okay, there's some targets there, let's go and bomb them. If possible, make sure to fly levelly when you bomb, because rolling and turning and your plane either climbing or diving will all affect your accuracy. In fact, you may even be incapable of spotting this marker if you fly too haphazardly. Yeah, remember, don't ever confuse this place with your actual aim. Your bomb will always follow these points, and unfortunately it's not all that accurate. And remember, before you drop the bomb, you have to open your bomb bay. I suggest that you set up a separate key to which this function will be bound, albeit you can also do this here in weaponry and key number 6, open bomb bay, as you can see. Alright. From what I remember, I think it might be possible to set up a custom payload scheme on this, but it will actually not really differ much from anything. So we'll check in the hangar soon. So it's not really visible. It's not really visible here, but from what I remember, despite the fact that your payload is hidden in an internal bay, your flight characteristics are still affected. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for armament, I suppose. Alright, let's talk about how it... Yeah, as you can see, you can zoom this thing too. But remember that when you are using this view, you are oblivious to any enemies that are approaching you, so make sure to take a look every now and then. Also, be very gentle when you are turning in this view, because it is... Alright, dropped a few, we'll see. Can I get the camera? Alright. Hope I'm not dropped. I think I dropped an additional bomb, but at least we can have a look from here. Yeah, I'm keeping space pressed. Yeah, as you can see, the accuracy is not really ideal. Yeah, one more bomb went. Yeah, but when you drop a bomb using your space button or whatever key you are using, if you keep it pressed, you will be able to watch the bomb fall. You basically activate a camera that follows the bomb. Yes, so in ground RB, honestly, this is not really very effective. It's difficult to aim, you are vulnerable when you aim because you cannot move around too much. And accuracy is too off. So if you do want to use it in ARB, then make sure to take the 250 kilo bombs. But if you ask me, Stuka is a much more viable option. Yeah, so next, let's talk about survivability. So I don't remember, to be frank, I have to check whether this thing has any armor or not. I wouldn't really say so. However, you are a big bomber at a tier whose meta is that basically nobody has any strong guns and they can't really do much to you anyway, so given the conditions there, you may be able to survive a lot. Additionally, well, we have only one pilot, so if he dies, then it's GG for you. It's not like with tanks where other crew members can replace the pilot, so take note of that too. Alright, so regarding various rip speeds, I will make use of the chat function here. So wings will rip at 640 kilometers per hour, gear at minus 200 that. Combat flaps will rip at close to 500 kilometers per hour, takeoff flaps at close to 470 kilometers per hour, and landing flaps at 320 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, your maximum speed is 324 when stock and 355 when spaded, with maximum altitude being 8.5 kilometers. So this means that you probably won't rip your flaps, even landing flaps, even if you go near your maximum speed. Well, landing flaps, okay, there will be a bit of an issue. I will dive down in a while, so we will see how it will affect various performance. Yeah, so now let's talk about major weak points that you don't want to get hit. So firstly, the pilot, because we have only one pilot. Remember that some bombers have two pilots. Because we have only one pilot sniper means that it's GG for you. So, conversely, if you are trying to shoot down a Dornier 17 in this version, just get the pilot and GG. Otherwise, you can also hit the engines, but you will have to destroy both, or you can take down the elevator on both sides, at which point the enemy will sooner or later crash, albeit it might take several minutes. Yeah, so now let's talk about speed. So as you can see, the acceleration is not that great, and if you keep flying at normal throttle, sooner or later something will overheat. So at that point you will have to lower your throttle. With that being said, you have web, so there's that, and there are no issues with this working at high altitude. Actually, let's have a look how far I can climb and if the web will still work there. As you can see, the acceleration is pretty weak, but I think I just said that. I just mentioned the maximum speed. Right, let's check the stall speed. It should be pretty high in negative sense, as you can see. Alright, first of all, it's really sluggish. Yeah, so the stall speed is around 120-125 without flaps deployed. Now let's deploy flaps. As you can see, the flaps deploy much faster than on the Garbage 109 wings. Alright, let's see now. Okay, so with flaps you get additional 10 to 15 kilometers per hour in decreased stall speed. So it's not that bad, but well, a lot of enemies that you'll encounter at low tier will be doing poorly at high altitude, so there's that. But yeah, as you can see, the climb rate is abysmal. So yeah, don't try to ever climb back after flying down, and don't fly down without a good reason for it. So regarding manual engine controls, let's have a look. First of all, you have two engines. I don't remember my binds for separate engines, but yeah, we'll have. So I'll just treat them as both together. Yeah, because at default you have control of both engines together. So okay, so you can control water radiators. You cannot control oil, unfortunately. Then let me see, there's no propeller pitch, no mixture, no supercharger, no temperature. Okay, so radiators are the only thing you want to control, or rather the only thing you can control in this thing. Man, I'm webbing this and it's still not climbing. Alright, let's try to get more speed and then climb again. Yeah, as you can see, don't climb, don't climb. Also, you might have noticed that the engine performance seems to have gotten worse a bit compared to flying low, which is pretty bad news. You need to take probably like an hour to climb to the max altitude in this thing. Sorry, but I won't even bother checking. So fuel, I don't really remember the exact value, but I'm pretty sure that there was a high amount of minimum fuel that you have to take. I think like 50 minutes, maybe close to an hour. We can't see the fuel consumption rate in the test flight, so we will see it later in actual battle. Alright, so regarding agility, as you can see, the roll is horrible. The ability to turn, I suppose it's not bad for a bomber, especially if we take out... Well, actually flaps don't really help all that much. Yeah, so don't even think of dogfighting anything unless it's a very sluggish, very crappy bomber. But take note that he will probably shoot you down with his turrets. Because if he's big and sluggish, he probably has more turrets than you can fire at him at any point. Yeah, regarding radar, well, It's not that bad for a bomber, but nothing spectacular by any means either. Yeah, I have already mentioned the flap rip speed, so you can infer from that we have all types of combat takeoff and landing flaps, and we indeed do have. By the way, I suggest that you have two separate binds for flaps, for toggling flaps, namely, actually I will just show you. I'm pretty sure that, wait, was it here? Yeah, flaps down, flaps up. As you can see, I have two separate binds instead of the default toggle flaps, because if you toggle flaps with this bind here, then it will just automatically cycle through flaps, and if you are careless you can rip them or something. Anyway, it just doesn't give you the whole array of options that you should have. Alright, as you can see, we are climbing at a smaller angle but with higher speed, and the climb rate improved, but it's still crappy. I think it's like 4 meters, wait. I think it's like 3 meters per second, which is garbage, honestly. Alright. So, I remembered when I was close to stalling just now that the low speed agility was crap, but now let's dive down and see how the plane performs at high speeds. Like 400 km per hour, for example. And I will, while I did bomb that medium tank there. Alright, so first of all, when you are making turns at high speed above your maximum speed, you can rip your wings not by crossing the maximum speed, but by simply putting too much pressure from the wind, from the air on your wings. I'm not sure. Yeah, that red flashing text, when you see it being extreme overload, that's when you can just get your wings broken. Yeah, so as you can see, the agility hasn't really improved because, okay, let's use flaps now. Seems to be slightly better, but I wouldn't really. Yeah, I think it improved slightly on this altitude, but otherwise it's not bad. Okay, I will show you now trying to bomb this thing with. I think my bombs will go right next to him. Alright, seems legit. It was complete miss. It didn't even hit where that marker that I have explained to you about was aiming. But okay, let's just try to bomb without that sort of aim, like a dive bomber. Alright, as you can see, when you are diving, bombing this way, it is more accurate. However, it's still not ideal by any means, and you are very easy to shoot down when you are doing something like that in ground and B, so I don't really recommend. Okay, that would be pretty much it regarding agility and such, I suppose. There are no additional features, so there's that. Okay, let's go into the hangar and have a look at that armor thing. Yeah, as you can see, this is stock, and we have stock stats. Also, as you can see, even with bombs in the internal bay, we still get some penalties. To climb rate, wow, that was actually 1 meter per second. Crazy. So is it actually like 10 centimeters per second with those bombs? Bruh. Yeah, so rate of climb time and max speed all suffer. Yeah, and as I said earlier, we have two other options for armament. Yeah, so armor, yeah, there is no armor protection on this vehicle, so all you have to protect you is your size. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for flight characteristics. I will soon return to you with the next part. Okay guys, we are continuing. So I will show you how I bomb a base in RRB. But let's talk about the history of this plane first. It was actually designed very early, already in 1932. I really hope that there are bases on this bomb. On this map. Did that guy just drop his bomb? Pretty big. What is that? Swedish? Yeah, Swedish bomber. So as I was saying, this thing was designed very early in 1932 as a freight/mail plane. Alright, there are several bombs. Okay, 101 of good manners in RB. Always ping your base and bomb that base you pinged. Never ping and never take away the base someone else marked. Oh, that BB1, I don't really like this. Yeah, so the actual plane was designed in 1933. No, wait, it was designed in 1932, but in 1933 was when the prototype was made. And of course, the mail thing was bullshit. At least it was bullshit in 1933 by the time that is, because at that time Germany was... Oh, wait. I would agree with this guy, but it seems like he realized. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately a lot of people don't care, and I have a bit of a bad feeling about this guy. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, as you can see, the Russian bomber is faster than me, though I'm stuck. So, as I was saying, it took several years to actually develop the bomber and introduce it properly. And it was pressed into service in 1937 and made a debut in Spain. Is this guy fixing to steal my base right under my nose? Clearly is. Alright. You know what? I'll give him a scare. Wow, he's too fast for me to even do this. Yeah, but let's see. Will he pump? Guess he will. Maybe he's drunk. Yeah, let's observe. So, by the way, this thing was actually developed as a so-called Schnell bomber. Yeah, he really dropped his bombs. Looks like some fat ass shitting. Yeah, that's what I'm talking when I mean bad manners.
Attention to the map.
Anyway, I just hope he's not going to bomb that one either. So it was called Schnell bomber initially, which means light bomber. Sorry, fast bomber, so which it by any means is not. And then it was also called Fliegender Bleistift, which means flying pencil, because of its shape. Well, I suppose it just means that it was thinner than other bombers of its time. Alright. Okay, see? Wait, where is that? Okay, I think... Yeah, I see it, it's here. Oh shit, I didn't open it in time, okay. Oh, I screwed it up. Forgot to open the, the stupid bomb bay. Okay, let's see how bombs are falling. Maybe they will be able to destroy the base. Seems like at least some will fall on the base, or not. Shit. Okay, some did. And you can check this. So it took 136 kilos of explosives to get that base. Those are 25 kilos each, so we have 250 kilos of explosives. So this Dornier can roughly destroy 2 bases at this BR. Yeah, as you can see, we don't get much points for this. Honestly, bombers are not a good way to grind, if you ask me. Yeah, so back to history. There's only one guy left. Yeah, so back to history. Dornier was deployed on all fronts in years 1939, 1941. And it was only in 1941 that it was slowly started to be replaced by Yonkers 88. Oh, that guy just crashed. But it's good, at least I will be able to show you how much you get for destroying one base in RRB at this BR. Yeah, so Dornier was pretty much replaced. However, it was also used as a base to develop a much better Dornier 217, which is much farther in the tech tree. Yeah, see, basically nothing. All I was able to, at least modifications research is okay, but right, never mind. I forgot that I'm researching high tier jet, so it makes sense that I got literally nothing for it. Yeah, so I don't know why it writes 162, but I got 672. I guess this one was the first value. Okay, so anyway, so unlock those bombs, and engine will not hurt, I suppose. Yeah, the oh, that I'll mention it later. Actually, never mind. So yes, so it was replaced by this thing here, and also this thing here. Well, it was also used in some limited amounts. Some were turned into night fighters and reconnaissance planes, but I will not talk about this much. The next thing I will talk about are operators, but for this, let me see. We'll mention this in a moment because I will jump into one more battle, but I will spare you the wait. So be right back. Alright guys, we are carrying on. One thing I've forgotten to mention, which is that you should replace your turret belt with any other one. Just don't... Well, I suppose this one is better. It has incendiaries, which are good against biplanes. Yeah, this one, it doesn't really matter, the default is okay, but the machine gun is crap. Alright, so this guy is saying he'll bomb there. It was Hood, GG Gamer. On E6, then... Well, it seems like everything got covered more or less. 3 bases. Alright, maybe I will then wait for them to bomb the bases and then bomb the airfield, or see with... Wait, that other guy, I don't know where he's going. In this case, I'll bomb this. Alright, so I've changed my... Oh, so it's going there. Lol. Wait. Alright, then I will go there. Oh, he already pinged it. Yeah. Well, I did notice it, but I confused it with another one, so kind of the same thing. Alright. So I've changed my mind a bit. I decided to drop the incendiaries to show you how they work against the bases. Basically, both the incendiary and normal 250 kilo bombs will be able to... This guy is going to be troublesome. Yeah, as you can see, this is the danger you face at this BR. Come on. Alright, first let's use... Whoa! Come on, turret. Use this. Dude. I got some damage. Bruh, see just how useless those turrets are? Seriously. He's still... Yeah, the worst part is that your plane will kind of try to get in your way with those turrets even. Alright, let's try to make it to that base. This guy screwed off. Yeah, so whether it's normal 250 kilo bomb or an incendiary one, they will both take a base at this BR. So let's take one base with one bomb before my plane crashes. Yeah, so I was going to talk about operators, so there's actually quite a large number of them. So first of all, Bulgaria used around a dozen, actually close over 20 Dorniers after 1940 in batches. Croatia used several tens of them, at least 50. Finland used 15. Germany, of course. Then Hungary used 1. Italy used at least 1 for tests. Okay, let me have a look. Alright. So it's there were minus points, so still quite a distance they have to cover with my damage changes. At least this guy cannot climb to me. Yeah, so then Romania used 10. Spain used over a dozen after the civil war. Switzerland used 1 for some reason. Oh, it was a plane that crash landed, or rather made an emergency landing in Switzerland. Yugoslavia used some. United Kingdom used 2, which escaped from Yugoslavia and then were pressed into service. It was an interesting story a bit because those Dorniers that escaped from Yugoslavia basically had King of Yugoslavia and gold on board. Also, the United States used at least 1 bomber as well, which was captured during the war. Alright. I'm about to gather. Yeah, as you can see, with all this damage, my flight performance suffers immensely. Okay. So, when hit with an incendiary bomb, the base won't go to hell right away, but rather gradually. But I don't see the shitty marker. Alright, I have to drop it blindly. Well, this kitten is... Yeah, as you can see, if it's a biplane that you can defend yourself somewhat. But the dead zone of the turrets is... Alright, I hit the base successfully. But I can now barely fly. Also, don't really rely on AI gunners. They sometimes will work, but often will not when you need them to. Alright, see? Base gradually got destroyed with 1 incendiary bomb. That's how it works. Yeah, so overall, the performance of this thing in ARB is so-so, to be frank. Okay, I think I can drop the other bomb safely. I think it will return. Yeah, as you can see, even high up, you can encounter dangerous opponents. Especially those single-engine bombers and attackers. They are bad news for you. So, good news is that biplanes cannot climb to your altitude, and monoplanes can, but usually won't bother. And even if they can, it will still take them a long time, and you will be able to reach the bombing targets before they do. The bad news, however, is that, as I said... Oh, he crashed, nice. As I said, there are some planes spawning at bomber altitude that can easily kill you, even some bombers. Recently I got shot down by an SB-2M, which also turns out to be much faster than Dornier, a so-called Schnell bomber. Okay, where's that stupid thing? Okay, let's just try to dump it. I'm starting to have some serious issues with performance, probably because of the engine that got damaged. Let's see if it hits or not. Yeah, kind of. Okay, that was sufficient. I think, yeah, see how the burning incendiary load causes the damage to lose, sorry, causes the base to lose health over time. That's how it works. So if you want to go for ground targets with incendiary bombs, then you can attack anti-air emplacements, artillery, light machine guns, and that's pretty much it. Well, trucks can also be destroyed, but light tanks and bigger tanks will not take any serious damage from it. Seems like I'm about to crash. Yeah, so don't take this into UPTIER, though that much is possible to be done on purpose only when you are in a squad with someone, but don't, you will really suffer. I have pretty much mentioned the difficult enemies. Yeah, so the advice tactics is just to bomb bases, don't try to do anything anymore. See that the stupid biplane basically finished me off. Oh, actually didn't do any significant damage, it was that other guy's fault. Yeah, so now let's have a look at what kind of rewards we'll get for killing a plane in addition to destroying a base. Yeah, so in summary, this bomber, yeah, in NRB is where it belongs. It can more or less handle it, but I wouldn't really rely on it too much. Okay, so I got something like 40-50% more modification research than previously. Okay, let's just get all that random crap unlocked. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for RB. It's not really a good idea, but I will nonetheless show you how it performs in ground RB. Be right back. Alright guys, we are now in ground RB. So as I said, I will show you how it goes. I took 250 kilogram bombs. I'll drop one from high altitude, drop one low, and then try to save someone with machine guns. That is, of course, if they don't kill me before all that happens. I have a bad feeling about this. Alright, I think it was that guy that I heard. Yeah, the guy that killed me earlier in the earlier recordings. Alright, so first there's someone there, so let's go there. Yeah, so as you see, I have spawned not that high at 1 kilometer. That's not really a good altitude for a bomber, but at least we'll see something in the bombing side. But okay, let's say a few words about the general performance of this thing. Ground RB. Alright, there's something moving there. Let's try to bomb it. So first of all, the payload, which you will see in a moment, is okay. I have to make a new approach. I don't see that guy anymore. Oh, and there's some enemy there. Yeah, so first of all, payload is not really reliable. Only the 250 kilo bombs with actual TNT and not the incendiary ones have any good effectiveness that you would enjoy. And the problem is when you bomb from above, you barely see your enemies and the accuracy is very low. If you bomb low, then you are very susceptible to enemy ground fire. Alright, let's try to bomb that thing there. Alright. Alright. I wasn't flying in the right direction and completely missed the right spot. Alright, in this case I still need to make another approach. See, this is how bothersome big bombers are in ground RB. But that's for bombs. When it comes to machine gun, it's even worse. But again, you will see it soon. Unless someone shoots me down. Yeah, there he is. Fortunately, he's not interested in me. But it would be nice to spot someone from above before I turn around. There's quite a number of enemy players. Sometimes it's good to zoom in the map so that you can locate enemies more easily. Right, there's something there, but I think it's that. Yeah, so regarding survivability, it's not really too good on a big bomber and on this crap especially. You are easy to destroy, whether by AA or by fighters. Alright, let's go towards that guy. Especially if you go low, you will be susceptible to ground fire from even things that aren't AAs and such, okay? It's beside that guy there. Alright. Alright. I managed to kind of aim at this guy. To wobble a bit. Okay, let's see where the bombs falls and what the effect will be.
Attention to the map.
Come on.
Defend the B point.
Alright. Missed. See? It's very difficult to hit from above. Now I'll go down. Yeah, so if you bomb from high above, you generally can reach the target safely and can drop your bomb safely. If you fly down, you are almost certain to be shot down in this thing. And because you are clumsy and heavy, it's very unlikely that you will be able to dodge enemy fire, alright? Also, when it comes to things with an internal bay... oh, see? That was the problem. The angle was wrong and the bomb was unable to fall out of the internal bay. Now I have some guy on my back somewhere. Oh, there you are. A biplane. At least I can kill that. So he can kill me too if I don't get rid of him quickly. Alright, managed to do this. Yeah, see, biplanes you can still kill with it somewhat. Yeah, so the angle I used while bombing was wrong. You have to fly more levelly. Unfortunately, if you fly levelly, then the bomb can fall off. The bomb can fall off, but it will be much less accurate. Alright, there's something quick there. Maybe I can penetrate this, and you will see the machine gun in action. Yeah, so if you bomb from high above, you should be able to return safely. Alright, some tank and I do. Well, that was that quick thing. See, I didn't really do anything to him, even though he was facing me, quote unquote, with his rear. Yeah, see, it's very difficult to achieve something in ground RB with this thing. Even though you have the bombs which can easily destroy any tank at this BR, it's very difficult to actually put them into action and hit. Yeah, so to be frank, normally I would mention the acceptable BR here for ground RB for this thing. But if I were to be honest, it's not suitable for any BR. It's just too crappy. It takes some ability to destroy enemy ground targets in ground RB. It's best if they are scouted. If they are not scouted, it will be much more difficult. Especially if you don't know the exact place where they are. Therefore, honestly, this thing, you just shouldn't use them in ground RB. If you do use that bomber in ground RB, then I suppose you can bomb from high above or do a kamikaze. I will show you in the test flight since I still have a few words to say. You can also do it kamikaze style with the bomb bay open, but for that you have to choose the right angle as well. Alright, come on. Take off already, you fat pencil. Oh, so heavy. Stupid gear taking ages. Alright, fortunately the vehicles are pretty close, so I'll show you how it goes. Alright. Actually, first I will bomb this one in level flight and you will see how inaccurate it is. Remember that when you are bombing low, you should have some delay set up for the bomb fuse. Alright, I think this might be roughly enough. Wow, I actually hit it. Lucky. Yeah. So it is possible, but it's difficult. I can't claim I'm good at it. Sometimes it is going well, sometimes not. Alright. Whoa. Not quite what I planned, but yeah, see? When I actually did kamikaze, it was even less accurate. So, yeah, it just isn't all that good for ground or B. But I will address it once more in a moment. Yeah, take a look at economy. It has better modifiers than the fighters, but handshell is better. I mean, handshell is the same. Sorry. It's cheaper. Or is it? Alright, it's not, but this is stock where actually it's not stock anymore. Alright, never mind. Maybe when I unlock the other two things, it will be more expensive, maybe not. It doesn't matter, the difference is minuscule anyway. So, finally, the question of the whole video, is this thing worth it, worth your time? Should you play it or should you not? Skip or play? Depends. If you want this for destroying air bases, ground bomb target bases in RRB, then you can take it. Because it has 200 kilogram bomb, you can take 2 bombs, so you can take down 2 bases. So it's enough to get some good. Wait, check this out. This thing, when stock it had 1 meter per second in climb rate. When spaded, it's suddenly 4.5. Interesting. Well, almost spaded. Close enough. Anyway, if you want this to destroy ground targets, as in bombing target bases in RRB, by all means, take it. You can spade a few, unlock a few planes with it. However, if you want to use it for ground RB, just forget it. Never bother with it. It just won't happen. You should just take handshell, which has, well, more or less similar armament. I mean, this thing has 10-50 kilo bombs, but I swear you are not going to hit anything with them. And even if you hit, even if you hit, you are not going to deal any damage. I will show you. It's going to be extremely difficult. So even if you have more bombs, it just won't work. So as I said, what you should do is take that handshell and use it in ground RB instead, even if it's a biplane, to be much more useful, much more effective, and who knows, maybe even better in terms of survivability. However, after that, you can take Stukas. Yeah, Stukas, I think at least some Stukas have better payload than this Dornier, so yeah, we'll take a look in a moment to make sure, but I'm pretty certain. And also the next twin engine bombers after that likewise are better. Alright, open the bay. Now let's drop some bombs. Alright, dropped 5. See, I scored some hits on this tank, but didn't do shit. See, even a truck survived. Just forget this trash. At least it is trash in terms of ground RB. Yeah, so just take Stukas, which have better secondary weapons. Alright, this one has heavier bomb, but not more bombs. This one has even heavier bomb than that. This one, those ones have no bombs, but they have cannons. I think there was some other Stuka later that had, yeah, see that later we have Stukas with 3 better bombs, or 3 the same bombs that you have on Dornier. Or even those things here, well, let's see. This one has the same payload, this one has worse payload, this one should have better, yeah, this one has much better payload. And despite being bulkier and heavier, this one has better performance, so just, if you want a big bomber with bigger payload, just go for Heinkel 111 or for Condor. Alright, there's another Dornier here which has, well, somewhat better payload, this one maybe, but not that much. It's not really worth it to waste time and spade it now that it's been insert it into the packet here. Yeah, so if you somehow still insist on unlocking this thing, then let me tell you, you should first unlock this modification. I mean, I think you have to unlock something from this tier first, so you can just unlock this or this, whatever. I suppose this. And then go for bombs, then you should upgrade your turrets. Yeah, I didn't bother because it doesn't really matter to me. Then you may upgrade this, but it's not really necessary because this machine gun is just garbage. This MG-15-1. Yeah, it's not even the same machine gun as the one in Heinkel 51. Yeah, it's an older type. And then you should probably unlock engine upgrades. Maybe those after that and those last. This might take on the order. Yeah, so for the future videos on Dorniers, I will not cover this one. However, I will cover one of the night fighters. I'm not sure which yet. Maybe two of them, maybe just one. And of course, Dornier 217 in some version will definitely appear. I think we have 4 of them. Yeah, some definitely will. Alright, thank you guys for watching and until the next time.